thinking about it. So I decided to pick the topic of the 360 video booth and standing out in a saturated market because, you know, it seems to be the question. How do I overcome people lowballing and they're charging too little, I'm not getting any work. So we want to stand out. We want people to go with us instead of someone else, right? So I'm Sharone, focusing fabulous photo booths out of Richmond, Virginia. I am a full-time photo booth owner. I have a six-figure business, and I am in Richmond, Virginia, but my territory is Washington, D.C., Virginia, and Maryland. Woo! Do you travel to all those three? Yeah, we travel to all those three, but it's like a tri-city. Yeah, so you're no more than 2 hours away from anything, but luckily I've been able to get booked. Like if I'm in DC, I'm booked constantly in DC. If I'm in Richmond, I'm booked constantly in Richmond. Do you charge for travel? It's not a side item. Right, so my pricing is based on where I'm going. So my pricing looks different in DC than it does in certain places. My pricing looks different for corporate than it does for a baby shower or something like that. So we all have 360 photo booths. How many people have other booths besides 360s? Good. Okay. And how many people are brand new, like within under a year? Okay. And 3 to 5? Okay. And then higher than 5? Okay. Was it a hard decision to make to bring on the 360? Yeah. Go and get it. Yeah. So for most of us, I believe it's the same thing. It took the people calling constantly for the 360. And my reason for going 360 was because I did not want to disappoint my clients. I don't want them to go anywhere else and get disappointed. So I wanted to make sure that when they're calling that I have what they want and that I'm going to deliver an amazing experience that they're used to, right? And see people not seeing that. You've seen the output. I see people not seeing that. And so it's kind of starting over and educating, because if you're at an event doing a 360, most people, this is their first time seeing a 360 or being on one. And it's also your client's first time negotiating that with you. So we need to stand out from day one, okay? Within the budget, I don't talk price until I sell them. Like, I sell them on the experience, and then we talk price. And so the first thing you need to do is find out. I'm gonna go through a couple of different tips that I use when I'm trying to sell my 360, and then also like what I do when I'm on the job. So that's kind of where we're gonna go with that. So the first thing you need to do is find out what makes you different, what's unique about your experience than your market. So it's going to take a little bit of research. And what's different with your competitors in your market, because everybody does not compete with you. Some people want to be the lowest, they want to be the cheapest. You've seen their advertisements. I have the cheapest 360. I have the most affordable. If that's where you want to be, then those are the people that you need to look at. What are they using as far as their software? What are they using as far as their platform? Are they manual? Are they automatic? What does their setup look like, right? Because we want to see what they're doing so that we know how we can be better, or we can talk to our client about our setup. What else? When I go to softwares, knowing the software is really good. One, because you need to know backups, but then you also need to know your competition's limitations. So if they can't offer something that is in your software, then that's another heads up, and that's something that you talk to when you're on the phone with your client. So basically making sure that you go through your market, know who your real competitors are. If you're more luxury, or if you're corporate, who's doing luxury corporate? Those are your competitors, not somebody that's out here doing it for $50 an hour. And so also sell them on things that is not, software and not platform based. Your customer service, again, starts from day one. If you can get on the phone and explain your experience, some people can't. They call you and they're like, oh, I just want a 360, or I want that thing that spins around. You have that thing that spins around? Bam, that's the person that you need to educate and really get them on board with why they should go with you. And that's that you have the best customer service. Your attendees are going to show up in uniform and really deliver a great experience to the guest at the event, because a lot of them, this is their very first time. I've seen it. Oh, is this the thing Cardi B did? Now you have to give them that experience. Don't let them down, right? Some people that have 360s, they're just going to put them on there, spinning around. Sometimes they deliver an output, sometimes they don't. I've heard so many different stories of how people are doing this experience. Maybe your difference is your custom overlays, right? You work with a really gifted graphic designer and you're doing animated overlays where somebody else is just going to Canva and picking something real simple to do, or they don't have those skills and it just looks, mediocre. You want to make sure that you have something that stands out. We talked about the attendees. Maybe it's that you have multiple booths. So if you're getting a call from somebody that has over 300 people at an event, maybe it's a conference and it's multiple days. Hey, I have multiple booths, so that you can make sure that everybody has the experience. If you're in an event and there's 5,000 people and you have one booth, is everybody going to get a chance to be on the 360? No. So you want to make sure they're educated on that. Your platform, you can do size. Maybe your size of platform can hold more people than your competitor. So that's another way that I've actually booked someone over someone else, is really explaining the capacity of my booth. And then you want to also make sure that you're saying you have competitive rates. Not affordable, but competitive. So I had a client call me the other day and she says, if I call around, will I find someone cheaper? You may, but are they going to deliver what I'm delivering? So you want to make sure that your clients are, because I've called around and I've seen them cheaper. We heard that. You want to make sure they're comparing apples to apples, not apples to oranges. So run down what your experience is. Is this what they're delivering you? And then we have something to talk about. But if it's not, then you're selling them on, oh, they didn't say I'm going to get this. They didn't say I'm going to do that. They may be doing it, but they haven't sold it to the client. So those are things that you want to look at when you are trying to be different than your competitors. And then you want to sell yourself on the creativity, not the price. So you asked within the budget. I don't ask the budget question until I've kind of got them on the hook. And then we're talking more, because they might find some more money. Or like I said, this is brand new, so they don't even know what a budget for a 360 is. Oh, I didn't know it cost that much. So you want to educate them and talk about the creativity besides the price. So price is the last thing I usually talk about when it comes to 360s. Let me see if I had any other notes. I want to make sure. You want to definitely build that rapport first, like I said. Find out about the event, find out how you can create a memorable experience, all those things. Maybe adding branding to the event, maybe going with their theme. So I have an event coming up and it's Alice in Wonderland theme. So now we're working on how we can make the 360 a more Alice in Wonderland theme feel than just people standing up there and it's saying Alice in Wonderland on the graphics. Maybe we do a green screen, but just talking through creating something that's going to go with their event, so they know, well, I have to have her there because she's taken this time to create something with me, rather than somebody that's cheaper and they're just going to show up with 2 lights. So again, talk to creativity, not to price. And again, sell your experience. What are some of the experiences that your clients have raved about? Anybody want to share?
How fun our attendant is.
The fun the attendant is. What does that attendant do that's different than the competitor or that they've ever seen?
Ours are required to engage guests and invite them in and be excited because it's their first time. Which is hard to do when you've done it 8 million times. But I do have attendants now call him the Woo Man. And now when they request him, I'm
Mhm.
like, well, you can request him. It's not guaranteed, like your hotel room request.
Yep.
Or you can demand him, and then you're paying an extra $150.
Right,
And
right.
you just got free demands for it.
Exactly. Anybody else have really great experiences that have stood out? So one of the things that I do is you want to make the experience look grand. So you're adding the carpets, you're adding the additional lighting. I do the LED walls for enclosure, but it's not totally enclosed. But I do the LED walls to create like what's going on over there, because that's part we see, we feel, we touch. So you want to make sure you're hitting all those senses when you're doing your event. Like she said, the person goes woo woo. That's part of the experience. What's going on over there? They're making so much noise. If you're adding the cold sparks, if you're adding confetti, like we love confetti, we make a mess.
Don't you upsell all that?
We upsell it. So we could get to it, but we upsell that. Some of them. Lighting is not. You need lighting. Depending on space is when I decide if I'm going to bring carpet or enclosures and things like that. So all that has to become part of your sales process, because you don't know if you can bring all that unless you talk to them and find out what venue are you using. And it's not good enough just to talk to your customer about the venue. You need to do site visits, or at least a phone call to the venue, because if they tell them we're bringing, because of course they're telling them it's a photo booth, right? But it's not. So we don't want to be in a little corner in a 5x5 space. We need more space. We need at least 12x12 to 10x10 space. It would be nice if we're centered and not in a corner, right? So those are the things that you want to talk to about the experience. Like, it's not your regular photo booth, it's actually a video booth. So it's going to be recording not only the guests, but everything around them. So where do you think we should set up, you know? I had one friend, she does 360s, and originally they put her inside by like an exit door. She's like, this looks horrible. It was a good day. They ended up putting her outside in a garden. It's a big difference. Same party, big difference in the output. So we want to make sure that we're trying to come up with an experience. Something I recently added and I absolutely love is I added Spot My Photo to my 360 experience. And so basically you're on the platform, you have all this lighting. Now I've added a photographer that's going to tell you how to pose and how to move, and he's taking pictures. So not only are you getting the video output, you're also getting a still image of yourself from a photographer that's also branded for the event. So we're, going with the experience. And so that's two different experiences in one, and they love it. And again, it's an upsell. It's not for free. Anybody?
Like a backdrop with your 360, because a lot of people I see, they don't have backdrop, they just do the LED lighting.
Yeah, I do not. I do the enclosure walls, but I ask, because sometimes your client has a vision, and they want you in front of a balloon wall that they've created, or they have the marquee letters and they want you there. But you ask those questions too, because sometimes they think, well, the photographer's going to use this and you're going to come with your own stuff because they've seen videos on your website, but they don't know that that was created by the client. Yeah.
Can you just clarify what you mean by enclosure?
Let me see if I can hit back. Walls.
So these are your LED walls that you
Those are my LED walls, right? And you can get as many as you need. You can actually attach a top to it and make it a real enclosure if you want. I don't, because of space. You never know how much space. And so with these, I can manipulate how much space I need. Yeah.
We have similar ones, but it's 4 with 2.
Yep. And that's what I say, you can add as many as you want. Sometimes I pull my walls together and I create a LED backdrop with it. Yep.
I don't see wires. Are those walls wireless?
They're not wireless. They're very thin wires.
You did very good.
Thank you. Thank you. In my booth, let's think about wireless. If you can make your booth wireless, that's another plus, especially with COVID. A lot of our events were outdoors. And so just eliminating that whole having to, wire everything. Our lights are wireless, our platform is wireless. So it's really good.
Wait, they're wireless? They don't plug into the wall?
No. We use all
Did you put the batteries?
the batteries are on the side of the lights. Yep. Mhm.
Where did you do those?
Which the lights? Amazon. Oh, the LED.
LED walls.
LED walls. I have a vendor in China. We can talk. Yeah, I can help you out with that. Mhm. Mhm. Let me go back to where I was. Upsell, since we there. Y'all know we there. We are there. What are we upselling? So what are your rates? I want to know. What are rates? What are rates? Your bottom, you come in with a booth and a camera. What's your rates?
600 an hour.
Okay.
600 an hour. We're talking the 360, not the.
Just 360. 360.
600 an hour.
600 an hour.
Lights.
Minimum of 2 hours.
Huh?
That's no lights.
That's no lights.
No, with the lights.
Yours is with the lights.
Lights, yeah.
You use 6.
Real low, 350.
350. 300. Now where are we located?
Nebraska.
You're reporting.
Okay. Texas. What part of Texas?
Carolina.
You're Houston.
Raleigh.
Raleigh. Do you think the saturation affects your pricing?
I actually called around. I took the gentleman's advice on YouTube for $10 booking,
Mm-hmm.
and I called 4 of them,
Mm-hmm.
and that range was about the going rate. So some people were 300. A lot of them were, you know, almost 300.
Mhm.
So I found the happy medium of 350.
Now, did you call because you went to Google and said 360 photo booth and they popped up, or you found them and you know that they are the people that you're competing against?
I called them because it looks like they would be in my market, my target market.
Mm-hmm.
First I looked for 360s in Raleigh, and I looked at some of them that I really, really liked.
Yeah.
And was trying to see how did they charge, what they charge. So I just called like I was a client. I only found one that charged $1,000 an hour, and they considered themselves. She told me we consider ourselves a high-end photo booth, but they wasn't charging anything. I mean,
They weren't doing anything.
any different from what I could see. So that's what they said they charged. But
Mhm.
everybody else was around about the 300.
Okay. Anybody else?
My issue is the opposite. My issue is now all of a sudden everybody went and got a 360 before they even have booths.
Right.
And they don't have any clue. There's one girl who just started doing balloons, and then the other day she's like, "Oh, it's on its way." And they're so great.
Yeah, I'm with you on that because
$50 an hour, $100 an hour. Now, yes, will they, just like any other photo booth person, will they beat themselves out? Maybe. But at the same time, when there's that many
Yeah.
doing it, because maybe she got hers and then she called people, and then so she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
$100 an hour." But they're training the clients, and this is brand new. Like the coast already had them, so we should be getting top dollar because it's new. But they're training the clients to think, "Oh, it's only $200 an hour."
yeah,
So I get it. I still get mine.
Yeah.
But it's just
yeah.
frustrating.
And what I've noticed also in photo boothing, we always saw a DJ or a photographer trying to jump on with us with the photo booths. But now it's like you said, it's caterers, it's balloon people, it's anybody that wants to just get it. We have the selfie museums; they have it. I went to the one over here at Town Square. They had one. It was broke. You couldn't use it.
Is it worth the money to go? Because they want to go. Girls want to go.
I went and had a good time because it was just me in there. So I got to spend as much time as I want, but I don't like going when it's a whole lot of people. I will say with the pricing, I think our base is okay. Like whatever you want to do your base at, sell the upsells, sell the experience, and that's how you can pull them in more as you get higher and higher up. Like of course my backdrops and my anything other than the platform and the light that I need to make a really good video is an upsell. If you put a branding on the platform, we can put your initials. If it's a wedding, we can put your initials, like how you do the floor. That's going to be a lot cheaper than them doing the dance floor, and you're going to see it a lot more because people are going to be on it. Maybe you want to upsell them on your graphics. I don't, but maybe by doing a still graphic or animated graphic, that's an upsell for you.
They get confused.
Who does?
My clients, because you tell them so much information, they're like, "Holy crap, I didn't know it involved all this." And
that is enough to pay. For me, I know when I'm planning something and somebody takes something off of my plate, I want to work with you. And I'll pay you what you need because I know you know what you're doing. So sell that you're an expert at this, you know. If you're saying the same thing the competitor is saying, they don't know which way to go. They're going to go with the cheaper. Why did you go with the cheaper? Well, because they were cheaper. You don't want them to not have all the information. I know it's overwhelming. It's new. It's overwhelming. But that's why you kind of let them talk. Get all the information and then come back. I try not to give them any pricing on the phone on that discovery call when we're learning about the event. Let me process it, put it in a nice little package, send them some pictures or some videos, and then they get it, right? Some other upsells that I do is, like I said, adding the photographer to do the spot my photo. If you have a chance, please visit his booth. He's amazing, Ryan. That right there, that's like a $1,200 add-on, depending on how long your event is, right? So you can get those numbers up. Trying to think of anything else. The confetti is an add-on. The balloons, if you want to do the cold sparks, that's an add-on. Money guns, fog, yeah. Any of those things that add to the experience to me would be an add-on just to get your pricing up. So you're not competing on that base price, you know?
That's what we do, because we're in LA, so it's $350.
Yes.
So our base price is $350 an hour.
Okay.
But we upsell everything else.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
We have to.
You have to.
In LA, like literally, people in the 7-Elevens got, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
And you got them at the mall. People are doing the pop-ups. Like in our area, they're at the club and they're doing $15 a spin. You know, like it's
Big now. I mean,
it's
LA is, when you say saturated, LA is
saturated.
10 times, you know.
Mhm.
So what do they get with 350? Just the base and the light?
Oh, they're giving everything.
They get the base and the light. We try to upsell everything else. So what I did, especially once COVID hit, the money gun thing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna make, the best out of that. So what I did was I blinged a money gun. So, cause anybody can say, okay, I'll get a money gun. So, but now this money gun shines in your video.
Yes.
It gives that glam that, and so for brides,
Yeah.
ooh, yeah, that's pretty, or even divas, like, so the money gun,
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
I went,
Rock on.
Yeah. It's blinked out. Yeah. Yeah.
And people will do it. I've had 2 brides do it. That's fine. I mean, through COVID.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, so we had to get creative in LA. Like super duper creative.
Getting back to you all, and I don't want to ask you if you're going to save it to the end. Are you going to talk about that? Because I'm still torn about. I mean, are you picking up the money? Who picks up the mess? I'm trying to figure out. I see all the confetti videos with the confetti, but it's a gazillion on.
Yeah.
Who sweeps it up? Who gets up the money? Are you going to have a problem with the cold spark? Are the hotels really going to let you do? Even though I've understood that it's dry ice, but still it looks like fire.
Yeah.
So I mean, how are you all doing this stuff?
For us, our attendant, we have 3 attendants, because I run it with my husband and my 2 sons. So, and most of the time we're all there. So, the money gun, luckily, it hasn't flown in a lot of different places. But after we're done, it's in the small little area, we just pick it up afterwards.
Yeah.
After each spin?
No.
Yeah, after each spin.
Our guests are
I
like,
tell them if they use it, they have to pick it up, and they pick it
Yeah.
up.
Also, you can do multiple stacks. So first of all, if you put all the money in the money gun, they're going to spray all the money in the money gun. So and it only records for 8 seconds. So how many pieces of money you need? 10 at the most. So I penny pinch a little bit at a time. I have 2 stacks of money. You will be.
start till you say it.
Oh yeah, because they'll miss it. Yeah.
So 2 stacks of money, 10.
Don't load it. Don't load it all the way. Yeah. They will go shh. Yeah. So the confetti, Couple of ways. I try to confine the confetti. So that's a great way to add on another thing, which is a spiral wall. So if you do a spiral wall, everything is in confined area. If they're not going to be able to get the spiral wall because space, then again, it doesn't go too far. You know, it's going to stay there. We have a vacuum we bring with us. It's very useful. My attendants don't mind picking it up at the end of the night, but we don't use a lot of confetti. Sometimes the clients go down and they pick up some that somebody dropped and they just use it because it's just one of these. It's only recording for 8 seconds, so it's not a lot of time to make a big mess. But I will say the mess attracts people and they love it, and it's part of the experience. Oh, I'm going to go over there because they're over there making a mess. It looks like fun, right? When is the last time you got to play in some confetti? So I love the confetti. I think it's a great add-on. And I ask, well, I don't ask. I just ask for forgiveness afterwards. But I know I'm going to clean up, you know. But if you really feel like it's going to be a problem, then you want to make sure you reach out to your to the venue. The client is not going to know, and they're going to be the same with you. Just do it. Just do it. Cold sparks, yeah. I definitely would find out before I go. And I think more and more people are using it, so they're probably used to that question. Yeah. I'm not a cold sparks person. I'm a little leery on that. I don't think I'm going that direction, but if I got asked, I would probably outsource it. And again, put a little bit more money on that. I'll find somebody else to do it, and then I'll just add it to my package.
So what do you sell your confetti for?
So we have a prop package. It starts at 100 and it goes up to 300. So just depending on what they get. If they want the money gun, it starts at 100. And then if we do money gun, confetti, or big prop signs, you can get those customized for their event. Then we go up to 300. Yeah.
What are you charging for your enclosure?
This I charge $1,000 for this.
Which one? Not the LED walls. Do you have the circle enclosure?
I do. I have not put it out for 360. I've done it for photo booth, and again, it's $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that $1,000 per hour? Or
No, just a flat.
so however many hours they want you for $1,000?
For the backdrop. No, yeah, just for the backdrop. Yeah.
About your just your
My packages is 500 to 900. So just depending on where I'm at. Like if I'm in Richmond, it's 500 an hour. If I'm in DC, it's up to 900 an hour. For my 360.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a picture of what it looks like when you haul everything in? I know you don't have it on there.
I don't have it here, but I have a rock and roll. It's about this wide. Everything has a bag. Or are you talking about my 360?
Yeah.
It's not on here. Huh?
Is that you?
I don't know. Maybe. I might have. It was a long time ago.
That group just recently.
I don't think I did my time lapse. I have a time lapse of me setting up a 360, but it comes out on the rock and roll. Everything is packaged. I can now. I used to cannot. I own a Orca View Gala, and we have a bag, and we can roll it in and set up everything. Everything that we need for a basic setup can fit on that bag, so it's one ride in. If I only do my ring light, yes. Yeah, if we don't do the external lights. But my external lights, thank you, Cynthia, it has 2 bags. It comes like this, and that's it. So I love the setup of 360. The liability of the 360 is the anxiety of the 360 is a little different. So I love a photo booth any day, but I don't mind this. So back to upselling. Does any of your clients ever say, well, does it print? Where do I get the picture? So that's another reason why I added the spot my photo. But also, you can also add another photo booth because we are photo booth owners. And so I was like, oh yeah, we can add on a photo booth. You want prints? So we can do a digital booth. We can add on a digital booth with prints. We can add on a classic photo booth. So these are more add-ons. And they're like, yeah, we need that too. So adding on a photo booth is something great, especially that's something you can do when there's boothers that just have 360s. They can't deliver that. Okay. All right. What else I got?
Question in regards to, selling the experience. When talking to the client, do you share with them that you also have insurance, just to kind of like stand out? Because I know some do not carry insurance. And liability. Does that help?
I don't tell them per se. I more so ask, who do I need to send my certificate of insurance to? That's not a question they've asked. It's a question I've asked, and now they're thinking like, well, the other person didn't ask me that. Why do they need insurance? Oh yeah, you need insurance, and it starts a conversation. So I just kind of move it into the process of how because it's like, well, how do I book you? It's kind of in that conversation. Yeah. So a bonus for 360 is you will also stand out if you are the first person to be noticed. So I have some top 5 360 photo booth keywords on a national level that you can use in your local markets to increase your sales. Increase your awareness, and you can use it for your website as well as for your social media platforms. So of course 360 photo booth. The volume is 61,000 and the keyword difficulty is 28. So it could be kind of hard to rank for 360 photo booth because so many people are using that. And we know it's 360. Wait, go on down. I'm so sorry. Is it 2? I have my SEO guy in here. He's the one who came up with all these great information for me. What's the difference between the top one and the second one? Oh, together or apart? The spacing. Okay. And capital or not.
Does that make a difference, the capital?
Why does, yeah.
Really?
The word together and the word separate can make a big difference.
I'm talking about the capital P.
It does.
Yep.
Because it comes up on 2 different.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. So I have it together, lowercase, second, and that is volume is 4.3, so that's a big difference. And again, it's easier. They said the keyword difficulty is 7, so it's easier to rank for that hashtag or keyword. And then we have 360 photo booth rental, so that brings it back up 6.5K. And then the difficulty is 10. So again, another one that's very easy to rank for.
So keyword's not a photo booth, but that's what they look for.
But that's what they look for.
Keyword difficulty as far as SEO. What does that mean?
So the keyword difficulty, what it means is how hard, how difficult it is for that one particular keyword to rank. So a 10 would be pretty easy versus something like a 65. 65 would be major difficult for you to rank for that keyword on the first page.
Got it.
Okay.
So very easy, very
And where do you put these hashtags?
So you use it on your website. You can talk to whoever's doing your SEO. You can use it on your website as well as on your social media. Use them as hashtags for your social media. 360 camera booth, 6.5K in volume. Okay, but look at that difficulty is at 31 now, so we're getting harder to rank. And then 360 booth, 3.5K with difficulties at 14, so it's a little bit easier. And then the 360 camera rental separated, you have the keyword difficulty at 10. So let's give them a try. But you want to be noticed, so let's see who finds this under these keywords and hashtags.
Did you find if they ever search for 360 video?
I use 360 video a lot. I would say in the last 6 months, a lot of my 360 calls have come from Instagram, and so I know it's working. They don't really come from my Google searches. Most people are finding me for the 360 on social media.
Do you TikTok?
No.
I
I use Reels. I have a lot of success with Reels. you know, I'm not a TikToker. I just don't want to. It's a lot of time. I think that's something that I think that's something that I'm gonna put someone in my team on, but I don't want to do it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. We've been Q&Aing the whole time, but the QR code here is if you wanted to get more time with me. Outside of running my photo booth business, I also do Chit Chat Photo Booth. And I started it just because I love to talk about photo booths. So sometimes I'll be sitting there and I just want to get on live and talk. So I started Chit Chat Photo Booth. We were going to have a podcast. So we are a podcast with no episodes yet. But we do have a Facebook community. So we get in there, we talk. From that community, I decided to do the first ever 360 Photo Booth Owners Retreat. So we had our first retreat in January. It was a major success. We got it sponsored by OrcaView. They paid for everything. We did, what was it? What days was it? It was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yes. So on Friday, OrcaView invited us into their facilities and gave us a total tour from when the wood comes into their facility till it comes out as a functioning photo booth. They spent half a day with us in our all-day workshop, just going through hands-on techniques with the booth, how to maneuver it, how to set it up, how to do different things. We had a lot of experts, software experts, from TouchPix to D's and Tech to PicPix Social to Media Share, and we really went in deep with the software and really working on how to enhance our experiences with our 360s. So I shared that, and now we are going to do a second retreat in June in Atlanta. So I'm trying to get the sponsorship together with that and location with that. And I'm working with some people that are on the ground. So it was easier for me to do it in National Harbor because we had OrcaView there. It was really cool. But Atlanta, I think, will be a really great market to do something like this. And people really appreciated the time to not only learn more about their 360 softwares and different softwares and booth, but also to network with other boothers. We had people come from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Chicago, Detroit, Virginia, North Carolina. People came from everywhere. And so now you have someone to lean on. So in fact, this weekend, someone is white labeling from me that was at the retreat. So thank God we connected because she's in my area. She has the same booth. We use the same software. So she's going to work that event for me while I can be here with you guys. So Q&A, more Q&A.
Are all of your 360s that you have, are they all manual?
So no, so my OrcaView is the automatic, wireless. And then I do have a manual one that I just kind of keep on as an emergency. If something ever was to go totally wrong with my 360 and my manufacturer couldn't help me and I had an event right away, I would throw it out there. But no, I really roll with the automatic. I'm not a fan of manual, but it gets the job done.
Transportation. How do you transport the
So I do have a van. But my particular booth, the Gala, they say can fit in any in any trunk except for what kind of car you got? She's the only person that can't fit it in her car. But mine is easy. It's on like wheels. I roll it out, I tip it over and slide it in, pull it out. It has handles on it. I slide it out, roll it in, push it over. So it's really easy.
You use an iPad or?
I don't. I use a GoPro. I use D's and Tech as my software, and I share through PicPix Social. So I will be at the PicPix Social exhibits this week. So please stop by. They have some really good new features to work with 360s. I know you've seen how to share without using internet. They have something there. So I've already been a PicPix user, so I hate having to leave a software that I'm so used to using just to go get one thing. So now they're offering it. So make sure that you stop by, and we'll be talking about that too.
So I haven't used my 360 yet. I just got it like a week or two
No, so it does video. In my software, it creates thumbnails, but it's not a real picture. It's kind of like, it's the picture that shows up when you go to share it. Yeah. So no, it's all video.
Actually, on the point of the thumbnail, because in the event that I created an intro and an outro video, but the intro video starts black and the thumbnails were all black as a result. Do you create intros and outros for your videos or not?
I create outros. Let me tell you why I don't do intros, because they all look the same. Right. So I've seen somebody have that issue, and so I wouldn't. But if you had to,
Your outro, is it just your company information?
no, I do my outro based on my client with my logo, unless they pay otherwise. That's another way to get some more money. White label. If they don't want anything of yours on it, they must pay.
And what sort of rate would you charge us?
It depends. I've seen about $1,300 to white label. Yeah, corporate will pay for it because they understand that language. So if you have a corporate client, like, oh, would you like to white label this experience? They understand what that means. So that means you're not putting your name, your logo, your nothing on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do outros, or I haven't yet. How do you do them? Do you
Good.
make them, or?
I make them, and the best website I've found is called Placeit, placeit.com. And they have outros. It's so easy to make. You can change the colors. You can add the logos. You can add pictures. Place, Placeit. That's where I create my outro videos. And it has a whole bunch of other stuff. You can do mock-ups of T-shirts, and you can do anything there. But I typically go there for the outros.
So I'm trying to understand the outro. So, I mean, well, you know what software I use. So, after the 360 video is finished, you somehow put this outro.
Yeah. So you know when you're looking at your recording timeline, and there's a plus button at the end, you hit plus, and at the bottom of that screen it says video, or I forget what it says, but it's the last box. You click that, and that's where you upload your outro. And it runs really smooth.
All of your
Yes, every single one. Yep.
Which 360 group are you on Facebook? Which 360? Because there's like 2,000.
I like the 360 community, whatever that one is. We have an Orca View 360 group, and then I've been in the learning ins and outs. I'm just in there, but I say the 360 community is my go-to. I think there's more advanced users there. Yeah.
Before I purchased, trying to make the
Yeah.
decision, and the groups that I joined, there's a lot of immature.
And then whatever booth you have, they should have a group too. So what booth did you go with?
It's called Sophie Booth 96.
I think they have a group. So I would look it up. If they don't, then you, of course, are in your software. Are you using TouchPix?
Right now. Only because, like I said, I just got it. And
Yeah.
I'm just playing around.
I mean, it's not a bad thing to be in their group. They're very active. It's not a bad thing to be in the group. But I would try to join everything that's associated with what you're doing.
I've heard, like, speaking with some of the ladies here, like last night, they were saying, like, Snappy is a good one.
Yeah.
A really good one, and Dizentech.
Yeah. So I use Dizentech. SnapPix is my backup. Yep. On 360. Yep. Dizentech. DZ. I gotta look. Oh, it has a yeah. Spell it. Yeah. Zentech. But they're here, so definitely go by their booth. Yep. Go by their booth, and they're not iOS based. It's on your computer, one purchase, and you're done. You don't pay monthly or per event.
I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and it has the updates. Yep.
And it's user friendly.
Yes. Yeah. If I can, I'm not techie.
Me neither.
No. And if you can't, she has amazing videos. She teaches you. So, and there's a group. So you got all the help and resources you need. They also provide video outputs so you can use to market.
Do you have to have, I couldn't remember from the last workshop, do you have to have media shares to do what you just said?
You have to have a way to share, yes. So if media share is what you want to go with, it works with media share. Like I said, I use PicPic Social to share through Tech, and I believe they have their own, but yes, yeah. But I already had one, so I just stuck with what I already had.
KSUSE, I believe it's called, their sharing software.
Okay.
There is a free and a paid tier. The free is on the email and the paid, I think it's text or something like that. It's not.
Is it good? Do you feel like you can stand out in your saturated markets a little bit better? I think you guys have a really good understanding. I mean, the biggest hurdle is knowing what you're up against and selling on creativity and selling on the experience, and then of course upsells. I think we're going to get to the point where people are tired of seeing what we've been seeing, and so show them something different. Maybe your 360 experience, come up with 3 different experiences and sell it that way. Oh, this is the glam 360. This is the neon light 360. Whatever, just make it look different and sell it.
I also think, and I take pride in you especially, but what I've learned is people also look at the way you show up. I've now changed my uniforms. We've always been uniform, having our t-shirts
Yeah.
and, in the click photo group, but now I've advanced from t-shirts to, I asked my girls to have white tops, and I'm providing the silk vest for them with my logo on it.
Right.
It added to, when we come in, they're like, oh, they.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the vest was easy
Yeah.
for me to get back at the end.
And you're not only being looked at by the guest, you're being looked at by your client, right? Yeah, I did a good job. I hired somebody. The venue is looking at you, and also the other vendors are looking at you. Your caterers, your DJs, your bar people. So you want to make sure, like you said, you're showing up and you're making your presence known, per se. So the better you look, because they see it every weekend. So we see it every weekend. They see it every weekend. They're like, the one they had at the other event didn't do this. Like, oh, you do something different, So make sure, like you said, you're standing up, you're looking good, and you are really delivering what you told your client you were going to deliver. Always have backups. What I'm also noticing is people, the arm breaks, or they can't connect to the internet. So many people are saying, I had to get my money back because I couldn't connect. So make sure you have all your backups ready to go. And so, like I said, I'll use Tech, but then I always have a backup with SnapPick ready to go. So just make sure that you do what you say, be transparent with your clients, and deliver a great experience.
Can I ask, is your platform branded or is it plain?
Right now it's plain, but I do wrap it. So I have a wrap for my company, but it's plain right now just because of, when I do corporate and they don't white label, I still kind of don't want to brand too much, but I try to sell the branding to my corporate clients.
I'm curious if anybody has outfitted their photo booth company, whether it's 360 or whatever type of booth you have with a DJ, because I have had some clients ask me about providing DJ services also with my photo booth. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe that's something I should incorporate. So my answer, I never tell a client no.
Right.
I'll say, well, my DJ isn't available right now. That's my
Yeah.
answer. So whatever I don't have, that's not available right now. But if it comes available, I'll let you know, and I'll start trying to find whatever it is I need.
Yeah, you should already have your group of people. I have a vendor list. I work very closely with DJs. Most of my social events come from DJs. My weddings, definitely, because I don't market to weddings. So any wedding I do is I'm working with somebody, usually. So just have your core people, and you guys, maybe there's a weekly call or whatever, bi-weekly call that you kind of can look at each other's calendars. Share your calendars. I share my calendar with other photo boothers in my area, and that's another person you should share with is, don't make them competitors, Make them friends. And we share. So there's only one other person in my city that uses Decentech. So if I need to white label, I usually go to him first because I know we use the same systems. Yeah. That's it? We good?
Question.
Yes, one more.
Paint-
She's going to cut me
paint-
off.
Paint this scenario for me because you brought up a question that I've been meaning to ask. Now, you said your backup is Snap It. You get to an event, for whatever reason, Decent Tech is not, as you said,
Yeah.
talking or
Connecting.
connecting.
So the biggest thing would be for me would be that it wouldn't connect to my GoPro, right? And I'm running out of time.
What would you do in the middle of your event? I know you're going to get there early anyway.
Yes.
But what do you hurry up and set up a Snap Create?
No,
Snap It real quick?
I do it
How
before.
you switch over?
Just move the cameras. So I would take my GoPro down and switch it to my iPhone. But I always have it ready to go. So it's already been created. It's already been tested. It's a simple switch of a camera to go into that. The app is right there because SnapPick has a sharing kiosk on the iPad. I use the iPad to share now. So I've just opened up a new app. So it's a quick changeover. In your contract, you should also have your downtime. So mine is my photo booth will be up and running 85% of the time. So I have that time if I need to switch or something happens. It's built into my contract.
But you already have the template in Snapit. You already have the account created in Snapit. So if something should happen, then you
Just switch it. All you gotta do is switch a camera. Yep. All right, we're done. I love you.